Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships, and in this video we will be taking a look at two new ships that Wargaming just announced in their recent devlog, and I was kind of surprised. They haven't talked about more ships in this one because, Wargaming usually adds so many premiums, including some of them like tier 10s, but we are only seeing two ships. Błyskawica 52, which again is kinda the copy paste of the Błyskawica 44 at tier 8 that we have recently seen got released, and also the Błyskawica, which is the oldest tier 7 pan-European destroyer. And also we have the upcoming cruiser, which is another pan-American cruiser, and boy oh boy, it comes up with tons of gimmicks, and obviously our special funny button, the F key, that Wargaming is kinda obsessed a lot recently. Well, we will talk about that, but the most important thing to talk about is going to be the European destroyer Błyskawica. And it's kind of like they have thought of nothing except all nation flavors. Like literally they have taken the concept of Błyskawica 42 is like they have taken the concept of all the French destroyers, for example, all the concepts of Japanese destroyers into a single ship. Like literally every gimmick of the other nations, well, you will find this on the Błyskawica 52. I mean, I haven't even talked about the European flavor, it also gets that. So what is going on? Well, let me explain that quickly. So basically at tier 9, Błyskawica 52 will going to have the guns of Akizuki line. So they will have improved HE penetration, they will have 800mm guns. So yeah, Akizuki branch, that's the first gimmick from other nation, the Japanese nation, okay? So they will pen 30mm deck, or I would say the thickness plating of all ships. And also the other gimmick is that we are going to get is going to be the French ships. They're also putting the gimmicks of a French saturation and the speed boost into Błyskawica 42. So like it kind of like makes French destroyers think, what? Like we existed because of these gimmicks, and why you are giving these gimmicks to another nation? Wargaming, hello? Well, here it is. It's going to get the speed boost, which I will show you here. These are the stats, by the way. And look at the speed boost. It's going to get the 180 seconds of duration. Well, now that tells a lot. And it's going to have maximum speed of 20% once you're using this. So pretty nasty stuff going on. And now we are talking about the pan-European flavor. This is the French flavor, speed boost. Well, we will talk about the French saturation that they are going to also build into the Błyskawica 52. We are also going to get the surveillance radar, a heal at the same time, and you're also going to get the French saturation. What is going on? Wargaming come with the absurd idea of giving all the goodies of other nations into a single ship. I don't know. Like Wargaming runs out of ideas? I mean, I like the fact that they come up with the smoke gimmick that is actually implemented onto these new destroyers like Hughes, the Osborne, the Burroughs line. They're getting good, interesting smoke. But now this is definitely ridiculous. I mean, if I can give you some idea of what they are saying themselves, Błyskawica 52 will perform as a sort of hybrid between French and European destroyers. Nah. They are still gonna talk about, I would say they are not talking about the Akizuki guns. In there, they should like say, it's sort of hybrid between the French, European, and Japanese destroyers. Like yeah, that's what it is, combining good speed and agility. I mean, good speed is because you are going to get the speed boost and also going to have the base speed of 39 knots. So you're basically having a speed of like French destroyers in this pan-European destroyer. Like what? And agility, and with rapid firing guns, so it's also going to have a really good reload time, slightly worse than Akizuki and Kitagaze line, but it is still good considering it's actually have a pen of 30mm thickness, which means cruiser will get full pen. Even at tier 10, 30mm thickness is a huge thing. And I mean, you can use IFHE. I don't know of the fire chance. I will talk about the fire chance here. Maybe they might have increased the fire chance from 5 to something, which can be very interesting, okay? So what they are saying as a weakness is only that her torpedo power is limited, as it's going to only get single triple launcher. So the Velos like only 3 torpedoes, but they are going to have hard hitting damage, 19k, which we will talk. And now here's the very interesting thing. The first is the improved saturation mechanics as on French destroyers. Okay, so if you don't know about the saturation mechanics that French destroyers get, it's basically that like that she will only take half damage in her midsection. That's what they basically also said. So after taking a certain amount of damage, the ship actually going to take less damage, and it's basically half after a threshold, which is absolutely insane. It's basically like a heal that you won't be able to see. It's basically having a more, I mean, if the theoretical HP is like 90,000, just for an example, practically it's having more HP than that, because you're taking half damage rather than the full damage from the HE shells or AP shells. Oh, not from the HE shells, I would say. But AP bands, obviously, they will overband full 10% of the maximum AP damage, but still, it's pretty insane, right? The HE shells will do half damage, right? And then you're also going to get the repair party, which now I will explain that oh, this is kind of nuts. So its HP is a weakness. They basically said here that its HP pool is low. But remember, guys, if you use Survivability Expert, this HP can easily go up to around almost 20,000. And then you're also going to have the flag, right, which also increases the HP pool like 5%, okay? So that's basically getting the HP total of 20,000. So you have 20,000 HP, French saturation mechanics, and then you have the speed boost. By the way, the base speed is 39 knots, which can be improved with the Sierra Mike flag. The rudder shift is really good. Turning circle is really good. Look at that turning circle. This is really impressive. 610 meter turning circle is really good, to be honest, and it's very nimble. It's going to be pretty agile with the speed as well. Rudder shift is also pretty decent, right? And your surface to concealment. Now you might be thinking, okay, so Gdansk line, I have talked about the radar, right? It has 10 seconds of radar, just like the European destroyers, the heel as well. But French saturation, right? You are getting the French saturation, which basically makes its HP to, I would say, one heel will most likely gonna give you 2000 HP, okay? So, I mean, you can go and calculate it. I mean, I'm not fully calculating this, but you can eventually see that one heal will give you like around 2000 HP. So I would say if you have 4 heals, by the way, you have 3 charges, and if you get another charge with the help of Superintendent, that's 4 heal, and if you heal 2000 HP per heal, then you have 8000 HP on top of 20,000 HP. So that's already higher than the tier 10, French destroyers like the Marceau and the Kleber. So you have more HP, you have more survivability, and I would mention one more thing. You can always heal. You can always heal, and kind of put yourself like, I will take, I will try to just, increase my chances of kicking in that saturation mechanics, and then you will heal later. So you can also utilize the adrenaline rush as well, because if you have low HP, you will take less damage because of the threshold that you have crossed to trigger that French saturation mechanics, okay? And then you have the guns that have 3.8 seconds of reload time. Okay, so pretty insane, like 12.7 kilometer range. You can improve the range. It will most likely gonna go to around 14 or something kilometer. And yes, it does not have smoke, okay? But again, you don't need smoke in French ships. You are really good as a kiting gunboat destroyer. If you get smoke, it's just going to get, it's already looking pretty absurd. It's gonna get completely and utterly broken. Okay, you have the radar as well. You have really good concealment, by the way, 7.9. I think if I just do some rough calculation, you will have like around 6.3 or 6.2 or 6.4 kilometer concealment, which is huge. You can outspot quite a lot of destroyers which having really high concealment. Like there are some destroyers, like for example, the Russian destroyers, they usually have high concealment. So you basically outspot them. And if you are not outspotting the destroyers like the the torpedo boat destroyers, you can radar them. So yeah, gimmicks upon gimmicks upon gimmicks. Let's talk about the anti-defense. Anti-defense is pretty bad, like it's garbage. But on the other hand, this destroyer looks to be very, very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. They have given a ton of gimmicks just to ensure that it gets interesting, but it is definitely something that I believe Wargaming kinda has smoked up a bit too much during setting up these stats, because I don't think so. This is probably going to get nerfed, hopefully, because it's not looking that good, but we will find out eventually. And now let's talk about the other ship, which is gonna be the Aguirre at tier 8. I hope I just did not mispronounce the name. This is a Pan-American cruiser, and by the way, it's going to get the F key. It has really decent HP, 46,600. It's basically a Harlem hull, as you can see, compared to her Dutch sister Harlem. It's basically a Harlem hull that have 40mm deck armor. That's what they are saying, and it's also going to have good belt armor, which means it might be the tankiest tier 8 cruiser at tier 8. Might be, I don't know, because why I'm saying this, I don't know about the side plating. There's a belt and there's the upper belt, which I don't know what plating that it has. I'm quite sure that the deck plating is 40mm, which is understandable, but the upper belt we will eventually see. If the upper belt is also 40mm, oh boy, I mean, it's not going to get overmatched by anything at tier 8. And one thing that also really ensures it that it's not going to get overmatched is because of the F key. Now, it has the cruiser dispersion, unlike Harlem. It has worse range, which is 15.1 kilometer, but it's probably the most tankiest cruiser at tier 8 as what I can see from the stats, okay? The guns, 203mm guns. The reload time is worse, but there's a reason. If we go to the combat instruction, there you will understand. Once you activate the F key, you will get main battery reload time by minus 70%. And on the other hand, you are also, to trigger the F key and to get the F key, come up to that point of threshold where you can trigger it, you need to tank potential damage. On a cruiser, you tank potential damage. What is going on? What? And then the only way that you can receive this combat instruction filled up is through that. Either you kill the ship, either you basically tank potential damage. I don't know how much potential damage do you actually need to basically get to that full combat instruction, but still, it tells me a lot that this cruiser is going to be probably the most tankiest cruiser, because the reload time is worse just because of this. I mean, you are going to get the pretty absurd main battery reload booster sort of thing, right? And by the way, if I haven't talked about one more thing, it's basically having the AP. It has AP with improved ricochet angles. I don't know whether it's going to be the Petro levels of improved ricochet angles, and also they have really improved AP pen as well. Let me just show you here quickly. There it is. Moreover, her armor piercing shells are improved both in terms of their I would say ricochet angles and penetration, making this ship a threat to any cruiser. Again, you have a main battery load booster once you tank enough damage or kill a ship to trigger that F key or reload the F key, right? So I don't know, man. And then also it's going to have a defensive AFI or the hydro. So it's not like let me show you where's the hydro. Give me a second. There it is. These are the consumables. So you have repair party, which again is a very, very good thing for a tier 8 cruiser. You have 4 charges with superintendent, and then you have hydro and defensive AA fire, but on a single slot. So I'm quite sure a lot of cruisers, or I've said cruiser player, will going to use the hydro, but you can also use defensive fire, because I think these are the numbers that I probably think of as Harlem numbers, because it's a Harlem copy paste pan-European cruiser. Okay, so these are the stats. As you can say, the bow. Okay, the bow is 25mm, but the side armor, the deck armor is definitely good, and then you also have 30 seconds of fire duration. So you are going to be very, very tanky, most likely at tier 8. And you have this F key that just, gives you insane reload booster for how much time, by the way? 20 seconds. So 20 seconds, main battery reload booster action time, which you can now understand that Wargaming is cooking something and they're smoking something at the same time. And probably they are now either using gimmick like the F key, or either using so many other nation flavors baked into a single ship or in a single nation, which I don't like at all, because every ship has its representation based on their gimmicks, and getting French saturation and the speed boost, and then destroyer, Japanese destroyer, gun alpha, and also the penetration into a pan-European destroyer while still retaining the pan-European destroyer gimmicks does not make sense. But they just want to pump out a ship like that so that players are interested into getting one. And yeah, at the end, it's the name of the business, it's the game of wargaming. So I hope you guys liked the video, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I think that it can go nerfed. Hopefully during testing it will get nerfed, but I don't know at this point. I'm not sure. It does have, however, a word reload time, but again, we will talk about that when they might release it at some point. At the end, I would like to give a big shout out to my Patreon members. You guys are awesome. They are helping me, directly supporting my channel, and you can be the one as well, and will give you and I will give you like tons of benefits for that. You can go and check out the Patreon, the link in the description below, so that you can go through all the things that I have mentioned in that website. And hopefully this video that will be helpful for you to basically understand these coming gimmicks of these ships. So take care guys, and hopefully I will make another video of the I would say the anniversary one, which will be very interesting. So take care guys, peace out.